Samsung just released their latest flagship Android tablet called the Samsung Tab S4, and it's really pretty. Now, they were kind enough to send me one though, so I figured I would try to do one of my complete walkthroughs. Now, if you're not familiar with the complete walkthroughs on this channel, it's where I try to go through every feature I possibly can on a new device so that you guys are better prepared with more information should you be in the market to go buy one. With that said, there's a lot to go through as always, so let's get started with the hardware. The new Galaxy Tab S4 has a smooth glass back that I love the look of and has a great feel to it in general. It's solid, it's not too heavy, and it's sleek. On the front, we have a 10.5-inch Super AMOLED with a resolution of 2560 by 1600 and a relatively small bezels all around. Samsung and every tablet manufacturer basically always cite the fact that you need somewhere to hold your tablet by, and that's why we have not as small bezels on tablets as we do on phones. Above that screen, we have an 8-megapixel front-facing camera with an f1.9 aperture that is capable of shooting 1080p video. On the top and bottom, we have 4 AKG-tuned speakers that are capable of surround sound using Dolby Atmos. Also on the bottom, we have our USB-C style USB 3.1 Gen 1 port that is capable of fast charging the 7300 milliamp battery that Samsung says is capable of lasting up to 16 hours of video playback. On the right side, we have our volume buttons, power button, and our micro SD card slot that also has a SIM card tray as well for LTE connectivity if you choose the LTE model instead of the Wi-Fi only model. On the left, we have our keyboard connector pins, which we'll talk about more in a sec. Under the hood, we have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 processor paired with 4 gigs of RAM, and you have the choice of either a 64 gig storage model or a 256 gig storage model. It supports all the Wi-Fi 802.11 standards that we're used to, up to 802.11ac. It supports Bluetooth 5.0, and it has far-field mics, so if you wanted to stand it up somewhere, you can use Google Assistant and Bixby on it from across the room to control your SmartThings products, for example. In addition to the tablet, there's 2 other pieces of hardware that we need to talk about when talking about this tablet. One of them comes with the tablet, and one doesn't. The first one, which does come with the tablet, is the new S Pen. The new S Pen now supports 496 levels of pressure sensitivity, thankfully comes with the tablet when you buy it, and has a 0.7 millimeter tip. We'll get into the software tricks it can do in a bit, but for now, it works with any of the drawing apps and just gives you a nice alternative input method, which I appreciate. The other piece of hardware that we need to talk about that's not included with the tablet is kind of important, as they're kind of marketing this as a productivity device, going so far even to say that it is the tablet that becomes a PC. That piece of hardware is the book cover keyboard that they call it. For an additional $149, you can get this keyboard that also doubles as a sort of case for the tablet. The device slides in and then connects to the keyboard using the connectors that I mentioned before. The keyboard itself has nice travel in the keys actually, and thanks to the size of the tablet itself, it's a full-sized keyboard basically, which makes it decently comfortable to type on. There's one gripe that I have about this keyboard though. Tell me what's missing from it. Yeah, there's no trackpad. And since it's meant to be used with the device in Samsung DeX mode, which is actually optimized for a mouse and keyboard, and we'll talk more about that in a sec in the software section, that means you have to carry around a Bluetooth mouse as well. Not a huge deal honestly, as I prefer to use a mouse myself anyway, but just a weird oversight on a device they want to be as productive and portable, etc. as possible. No? With that off my chest though, that brings us to the software portion of the Galaxy Tab S4, and the software is kind of clever. The tablet is running Android O with Samsung's UI on top. It's the same Android O that we're used to seeing though, so I won't go into a full-blown walkthrough of Android here. Let's focus on the software that makes this tablet stand out. For that, we need to first turn our attention to Samsung DeX. Now DeX, if you aren't familiar, is Samsung's software that sort of converts Android into a more desktop-like experience. When it's enabled, you get a desktop background that you can put icons on, along with a taskbar at the bottom with your status bar info in the bottom right corner, and a start menu-esque button on the bottom left that you can click to get all of your Android apps. Those apps also now open in their own resizable windows that you can stack and move around on the screen and even put side by side to more mimic a desktop, and definitely makes it way more productive to work on the device when paired with a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard. Now, while this feature was introduced on other Galaxy phones a while ago, they required a dock at the time and an external monitor. The big benefit of this tablet though is that you can use DeX directly on it, with or without the keyboard even. And if you want, you can plug in an external monitor via USB-C to HDMI cable. DeX is clever though, and having it on a tablet without needing an external monitor is definitely a more productive method to using Android than a traditional tablet mode. As for testing, here are some of the common benchmark scores for anyone interested in using them to compare it against other devices out there. And there you go. I'd say the biggest selling points for this tablet are the built-in design. I mean, it's super thin, super fast thanks to that processor, and it just feels really nice in the hand. DeX, even though it's just software, it's clever and definitely brings a level of productivity to an Android tab that isn't found on other devices. And the pen. Being included is a nice addition, and yet another way to interact with the device, making it just that much more useful. Now on the other side, for Samsung to call this a full-blown PC when it costs about $800 with the keyboard, and there are actually other real PCs that are less than that on the market. You can actually see my Surface Go walkthrough for more info on that, is a bit of a stretch. Tab S4 though is probably a good competitor against the iPad Pro. I mean, they're similarly priced. The Tab S4 might even be slightly cheaper thanks to the inclusion of the pen. They have the similar keyboard with no trackpad, obviously, and they both are running apps instead of full-blown programs. And yet, DeX, I think, makes the Tab S4 definitely more productive than using an iPad Pro. Just keep in mind, deciding on any of this, that Samsung and Apple are both similarly trying to push the fact that their devices can replace your full-blown computer, and both of them similarly cannot. There guys, let me know what you think of the Tab S4. Again, it's a premium thing. I think it feels amazing, and for a tablet, it runs well. My only issue is trying to say that it replaces my PC when there's a lot of things on my PC I have to do on a PC. But yeah, no, I still think it's a great device. Let me know what you guys think. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Otherwise, if you like this video, please thumbs up it or share it. It's greatly appreciated. And if you really liked it, go check out the rest of my channel and subscribe if you like what you see there. And don't forget to check the bell next to where subscribe so you get notified when I do new videos. As always though, regardless, thanks for watching.